What is up, Nerd Nation? It's your boy Hunter here from filmnerdtv, and today is Nerd News Episode 3. I'm joined, of course, by my co-host, Chance Ellison.
Hey, what's up, Nerd Nation? Here, I got my Star Wars shirt on, and I'm fine. I'm glad I finally got Hunter wearing a hat on this shit.
Yeah, for real.
How many hours of recording?
Yep. Look at this smooth Nightwing hat. Looking fly.
It's nice, man. Nice.
So, we've got a lot of news in the DC world. We've got a few Star Wars, and we've got a Dark Universe. I guess just one major story. So, let's start off with the big one. Well, actually, let's say that for later. Let's go to the Justice League runtime, which was just announced about a week ago?
Yeah, around there.
So apparently,
there was speculation. There was speculation a few weeks ago, but we got hard confirmation this week.
Yep. So this week, the official runtime for Justice League is, I believe if I remember correctly, 1 hour and 59 minutes.
Just under 2 hours.
Which
literally just under 2 hours.
I have no problem with that, because look at the first Avengers movie. The first Avengers movie was only about 2 hours and 5 minutes at most.
I think it was about 2.5 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me go.
I'll double check that.
Yeah, I'll check it real quick. Live, uncut, baby.
Uncut.
We raw.
The first Avengers had a runtime of 2 hours and 23 minutes.
Yeah. I thought it was okay. But again, you know, I'm not really worried about that. I mean, if anything, it gives me pretty much even more hope, because with Joss Whedon on there, it tells me that they had a 3-hour movie. They cut down and took the great parts from it. Because, you know, you do have Joss Whedon, who is also a really good editor. He's edited a lot of his own movies, so he kind of understands what to keep, what to take away. Not really the studio going in there and messed it up like with BVS. The theater cut, you have someone like Joss Whedon working on it to cut it down to a manageable size.
Right.
So, what are your thoughts on the Justice League runtime?
Okay, if I just heard this story, say Justice League has a runtime of 2 hours, I'd have been like, okay, it's a little shorter than I would have liked it. Like, okay, DC this whole time that their movies are too long. Like, I think each movie is about 2.5 hours, or around that.
Right around there.
The one movie I would have said deserved that runtime is Justice League. But okay, like I heard this runtime. Okay, maybe you keep it concise to a concise 2-hour body. I'm like, oh, then fine. My biggest issue with this story is hearing that its runtime is studio mandated.
Yeah.
Whenever you hear a studio mandating something, that's never a good sign. It makes me really nervous, because what if they're like integral? What if they're like integral parts? What if like a longer version of the movie would have been better? No problem with long movies as long as you use your time effectively. Like, my issue with the DC movies so far, not that they've been too long, if they don't use their runtime effectively. If you tell them to make it shorter and ask them to cut like vital things or good moments, I don't think it's gonna help.
Yeah. I'm getting something set up. Sorry. So go ahead and talk about if you think this is a good thing, a bad thing. Like, you know, could it help Justice League? Could it hurt it? I mean,
it absolutely could help it, just because, like, I mean, you look at something like Blade Runner 2049, which had a runtime of almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
And how many people that turned off to that movie? I feel like people see this movie and see like 2.5, like, oh, it's not even 2 hours. I feel that's gonna, like, you know, have people like shorter attention spans, gonna draw them in better, because and also with the most recent tone of these DC movies, and 2 hours could feel a lot longer, or it could feel like a much better breeze.
We'll get back to, you know, the reactions. We're definitely going to talk about, but in the reactions, they have said this is the most light, like, fun DCEU movie that there's ever been. Like, it's real lighthearted, real funny, real action packed. So it's not like your typical Men of Steels or BVS where they're really dark in tone and.
Yeah, like as long as you use your runtime effectively, I don't have a problem with it. You could make this movie like could be 3 hours for all I care, as long as you make it good.
Yeah, and I'm actually glad that they made it. They decided to go real on the shorter end of it, because like you pointed out before, if you go to even 2 hours and 30 minutes is a long time for somebody to be sitting in the theaters.
Right. And also, you cross into like Transformers territory where like you don't want to hold your audience hostage.
Yeah.
Like just use my bottom line on this one. You just use your runtime effectively.
Okay, so Thor Ragnarok was its official runtime was 130 minutes. So what? Right around 2 hours.
That's just over 2 hours. That's 2 hours and 10.
So see, I mean, that was one of the shortest MCU movies.
Yeah, like I remember I saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 earlier this year, and I was shocked when I was shocked to find out that movie was actually 2.5 hours. It didn't feel like it felt like 90 minutes. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is 2.5 hours.
Woo!
But like you don't feel that length because like it feels shorter. Like it felt like 90 minutes.
Yeah, and the only thing I can hope for is again they use their time wisely,
Exactly.
and they, which actually with that we'll get to the reactions after this one, but that all I want to go into Justice League. I'm not looking for an Oscar winner. I'm looking to go in there, love the characters, have a fun time, and just have a great time at the movies. Look at the first Avengers. The first Avengers has some major plot points that I could go into, but I'm not going to because I like that movie. But I love the characters of the Avengers. I love all the action. So all those minor plot points that they probably missed goes out the window because I had such a good time with it. That's what I want Justice League to be.
Yeah, the one thing I don't want from this news is that like I don't want it to be like BBS where like yes, this cut is a half hour shorter, but it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah. Which again, I trust the power of Joss Whedon and the way he edits his movies, and that he was actually in there editing the movies, which the studio has said yes, he's in there editing the movies himself. He's got helpers, but he's in there editing the Justice League movie himself and cutting whatever he feels is a little too long or whatever.
I'm curious as to what credit he's going to get on this movie because it can't be directed by. But I think Zack Snyder's going to get directing credit.
Yeah, so Josh might get either producing credit or maybe like an editing, writing.
I think maybe he'll get like probably writing. I think writing will get for sure. I'm not sure about editing.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the big news. The Justice League reaction tweets came out, and I'm gonna screen share it so we can all see it together. All right. Yeah, so we're going to screen share this. Whoa!
Ah, God.
Okay, so this one is from...
Justice League is okay.
The first one.
Hey, that's all. Hey, okay is like an A+ by DCEU standards.
True. But how do you say his last name? Jim
Vejvoda.
Vejvoda. As you guys can see, he says, Justice League is okay. It's fun. The characters are enjoyable and the cast has good chemistry together. I want to see more from them down the line. It looks like a Snyder's film and sounds and plays like a Whedon one. It's got a lot of issues, though, that I'll get into when the review of our list sometime next week. But the good news is that Justice League entertains. If BVS turns you off, then consider Justice League a palate cleanser. Now, we're not going to go through all these. We're just going to go through some of the...
Also, Hunter, you're a little staticky, so just keep that in mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Maybe like mute and unmute real quick.
Woo. Can you hear me, though?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're just a little staticky, but I can work with it.
Okay, and at least you guys can see what it says. Terry
Schwartz.
Schwartz
Yeah, Schwartz.
says, "I'm genuinely happy to report that Justice League is a lot of fun. It's not perfect and has its problems, but what the stupid ads? It's not perfect and has its problems, but does the job of making you care about these characters as a team by its end, and it's also very funny in a lot of unexpected ways." We'll do about one more. Actually, we're gonna callers on Perry Nemroff. I like Perry.
I do like Perry.
She says, "Here it goes. Justice League is super thin and has some very weak CG, but
I saw that coming.
Yeah, but it's got heart and a positive vibe that works. Overall, I had a pretty good time, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of these characters." Let's go ahead and cut that. So Steve, like I said, I mean, that's all I wanted. No one thought that Justice League was going to be, Oscar worthy. No one was comparing it to Logan, but the way I see it, I can look at it like almost Thor Ragnarok in a way. Thor Ragnarok had some plot points that I went over that I didn't like. I wish they delved more into Hulk's character, but again, I had so much fun in Thor Ragnarok that all those negatives, the negatives I had, the positives outweighed them. I go to Justice League, I'm looking to have a very good time. I want to care about these characters. I want to have fun. I want to see incredible action scenes. Another few that I read said that, they give shout-outs to Jason Momoa's Aquaman, saying he was incredible. Ezra Miller's Flash was fun. He had a lighthearted comedy tone to him, which is amazing. These reviews, these Twitter reactions, they're actually getting me excited because now I know it's not going to be as bad as people think it's going to be. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but Chance?
I'm hoping that I'm getting a little feedback from your mic, by the way.
You get feedback?
But from you, yeah, from you, I'm getting feedback.
Is it really bad feedback, or is it?
No, it's just kind of I can work with it.
All right.
But as far as me and Justice League, look, as much as I'm critical of DC, I want them to succeed. I want them to be good. Which is why it breaks my heart when they stumble. And this is a good sign. This is a good sign. People like it, but people also like Suicide Squad and BVS when those early reactions came out, and also Pirates 5 when it was screened at CinemaCon. But I'm optimistic. I hope it's good.
The thing is, with
it's like X-Files. I want to believe.
Yeah, but the thing is, with those reviews, and I saw them too, and they're like, "Oh my God, BVS is incredible."
Right.
It's not like this. It's not like that with this. Like, these are actual, people that I trust in the industry. Perry.
Plus, on that note, if I remember correctly, I think those screens were only fans. So it was fans reacting to those. Were like fan reactions coming out of those ones.
No, there were people like Perry. They were
of BVS, not Justice League, of BVS and Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
those were fan, which is why those were a little more positive.
Reactions. So this is why I trust this more, because it's from critics.
Yeah.
It's from people who do this for a living, and if they're like, "Hey guys, it's got its story problems, but overall, the characters bring you in. And if you have a good time at the theater, then that's a good sign for me. Because I don't go there critiquing every movie. If I notice a little plot points, I will jot down. But if a movie makes me forget about that, then that's a good movie.
No, absolutely, and I'm probably a little more critical than you are when it comes to my films, but just give me a good time. Give me these characters being heroic with these great actors who I think are going to be really solid. Okay, we've seen 2 be really solid, and 2 I think are going to be awesome. Cyborg, and just give me a fun time. Give me a good movie, and that's all I want. I'm not expecting like you're not gonna be Avengers great. I still stand by that is the best comic movie of all time. You're not gonna reach that, but be the best that you can be. That's all. That's all I say.
If Justice League can be just as entertaining as Thor Ragnarok, and I keep going to this because Thor Ragnarok had its problems, but that movie was so much fun and so light and so funny that, again, it made me forget all the negatives.
No, exactly. Like when.
That's
go ahead. No, exactly. Like when the better your movie is, the more forgiving people will be to your flaws.
Yep. But I do want to bring up one tweet that I saw. I don't know who said it, but they had one line in their tweet that really caught my eye. It said that in the Justice League movie, it has one of the best action scenes in the DCEU ever. In Justice League.
That's not saying a whole lot though, because I can't remember any action sequences from any of these movies.
I mean, I can't.
That stand out as like super. I mean, I remember them, but like nothing was like super memorable for me.
Yeah.
Period.
But like, them saying that is really good because now that they're stepping up the action a lot, and that they're actually having fun with their movies.
Yeah, but also like DC, they never had a problem with action. I think it's always been like one of the highlights of this franchise.
Yeah. I'm not sure why, but that just really stood out to me. And yeah, I understand, it's gonna have some plot issues. The story's not gonna be the best. But again, if you can make me follow and love these characters, that's all I want. I want to see them team up. I want to see the cast have good chemistry. And I want to see some great action, man.
Yeah, like that's I just want it to be a good movie. That's it. That's all you have to do.
Just let it be a good movie. Just let it be a good movie. And from these first reactions, I think we're going to have a pretty good one.
Yeah, looks like they got it.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. Because if they screw this up, I will not forgive them.
So right now we're pretty good. We're sitting good with the critics right now.
Yeah, right now. And let's wait till the embargo. Let's wait till the embargo list. We'll see what we're at. See where we're at next week.
All right, so on the topic of Justice League, let's go into Justice League is going to have an end credit scene. Not sure of what, but you have to think it has something to do with Darkseid.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it seems like what they're building to. And also like unless they royally screw up, which it looks like they're not, this movie's gonna make $1 billion.
Oh yeah.
Now I said that about BVS. I was wrong, but I think this
should have made $1 billion though. I mean, it's Batman and Superman, but
on paper, that's $1 billion movie. But because people want uneven about it, it didn't make it.
I think Justice League could hit $1 billion just because of one.
Absolutely,
it's Justice League. It's all these characters coming in for the first time, and if it has this positive word of mouth that starts flowing from right now, of like, hey guys, this is a fun movie, you go check it out. More people are gonna go check it out.
No, absolutely. So, yeah. So unless I'm pretty sure this is gonna be $1 billion movie. So you got to think they're gonna have a sequel at some point.
Oh yeah.
So they got to start setting that up now.
Oh yeah, and I know we're completely off topic, but it is about end credits. I think I realized what that ship was at the end of. That
was Thanos' ship. I think it was Thanos' ship. Oh really? What do you think it was?
I think it's the Guardians of the Galaxy ship.
That's my second guess, but it looks a little different. I'm not. I'm betting on Thanos. I think that's his ship.
Because I know you don't want to know what happens in the trailer, but I'm going to spoil a little bit for you. But the start of the trailer sees Thor in space hitting a big ship that has the Guardians on it.
Oh, I've heard what happens in the trailer. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I know he meets the Guardians first, but
that's what I think happens. Like, somehow he gets flooded. He gets thrown off the ship or whatever, and then he hits that big ship, which has the Guardians in it.
That's possible. It's very possible.
All right, so let's go into some some Suicide Squad 2 talk, where apparently Suicide Squad 2 is going to introduce Black Adam.
It's not 100% confirmed, but they're in talks to bring Dwayne Johnson into Suicide Squad 2. I think it's a smart move.
It is,
because Dwayne Johnson is one of those guys who he elevates every movie he's in.
He can take a bad movie and make it, make a whole bunch of
make it watchable. Yeah, like he's one of those guys. And look, I cannot stand the first Suicide Squad. I liked it. I thought it was okay when I first saw it, and the more I thought about it, it just got worse. I always said, like, I would want to see a sequel to it because, I mean, look at, like, Star Trek. Star Trek The Motion Picture is one of the most dull, lifeless blockbusters I've ever seen in my life. Star Trek 2 is one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever made.
And here comes Mance, here comes Burnett.
I love Star Trek 2, but aside from the point, back to Suicide Squad 2. My concern about introducing Black Adam, because my main concern about that is, first of all, I feel like you have to use The Rock sparingly, because like I'm not sure I was going to interact with this whole ensemble. Second of all, Black Adam, he's a cosmic baddie, and I don't want to see the Suicide Squad fight cosmic. I don't want to see them fight cosmic people. That's the problem the first one had.
Nothing in the reports say that he's going to be the villain.
Right? No.
He could just make a cameo appearance. He could just be.
He could be a cameo. He could be right, but like I'm nervous. I don't want The Rock to have a super large part in this movie.
I don't think he will.
But if you want to introduce the Black Adam in a different movie, I say scrap. Well, you can't scrap the Black Adam because they just got a writer. I'll introduce him in this first because I've been on record on the show saying villain movies are a stupid idea. I think this is the one that works. Like, you want to choose Black Adam in this, I'd say that's a good move.
Yeah. Again, if you want to make him maybe an in-credit scene, maybe you put him an in-credit scene which sets up for Shazam. Because I believe they're right around the same time.
About.
Built around the same year. Maybe I know Shazam's coming out in 2019.
Right.
I think it might be coming out sometime next year.
I highly doubt it. I think we'll see Shazam before we see Suicide Squad 2.
Oh, okay. Well, then. But
yeah, that's a tricky thing. That's a tricky thing. I'm not sure how this whole thing is going to work unless Black Adam is not in the Shazam movie.
Which he has to be, though. You have to think because he's the main villain.
Right.
The only thing I could think of is they try to get Suicide Squad out late next year.
That would be so rushed if they tried to get it out by next year.
I'm not sure how that would work then, because then you're not really introducing Black Adam.
Yeah, they would either have to. Okay, there are a few possible scenarios. Black Adam is actually not in Shazam, and they're saving him for like Shazam 2 or the Black Adam movie, which is in the works. They push back Shazam and get Suicide Squad 2 off the ground first.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing.
Yeah, but also, this isn't confirmed. This is not. Oh, right, he's not in the movie. They are in talks with him to try to get him into it.
And Lex Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg was also in talks to be in Suicide Squad as Lex Luthor. So, and look how that turned out.
Yeah. All right, so let's go into our last of the DC news, and it's.
Oh, we have another one. Oh yeah, that's right.
The very sad one.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck is kind of short on being Batman.
I mean, this isn't really news because he's been saying this for pretty much the entirety of 2017.
He's been going back and forth with this shit for over a year.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, look, Affleck, just be Batman or don't.
Make up your damn mind. But see, like, the weird is this year at Comic-Con, he said, yes, I'm Batman.
Yeah, I mean, look, I feel like they don't know what they want him to do yet. look, as much as I don't like BVS, I do love Ben Affleck as Batman. I think given more time, he could become the definitive cinematic Batman.
And see,
but
the reason I like Ben Affleck so much, sorry, but the reason I like Ben Affleck as Batman so much is because he's really the perfect Bruce Wayne and perfect Batman.
No, absolutely. Like, I think he's the best blend we've had of the two. Yeah. I'd like to see him do. I like to see him do more, but you know, I'd like to see him do more, and I hope like Affleck gets that chance.
Well, in reality,
but also
Batman, or Ben Affleck.
But also, he says he's unsure after Justice League, which nothing could kill this DCEU for me faster than them killing off Bruce Wayne in his second movie.
They're not gonna kill off Bruce Wayne.
I hope not.
If anything, they'll recast for the Batman.
Yeah, even then that'd be strange because like that's a major role to recast.
It is, but if you don't want to do it anymore, you don't kill off Bruce Wayne. You recast and you rebuild the new Batman movie.
It's gonna be super jarring. I'm not sure they recast. But yeah, as far as Ben Affleck being Batman, either do it or don't. Like, as of right now, I will not believe Ben Affleck will be in Matt Reeves' Batman until we actually see it on the big screen.
Yep. All right, so you want to go into Marvel news or Star Wars next?
Let's go to Marvel first.
All right, so let's talk about the big. Actually, let's start with a possible Black Widow movie. I know we went on this last week, but at one of the conventions they had this past week, Stan Lee, he pretty much teased a Black Widow movie.
Right.
I'm not sure what the exact quote was. I'm not sure if you can pull it up or not, but
you pull it up and I'll talk about the story, so we don't have dead air. But first of all, I'm not sure. Look, as much as Stan Lee carries a lot of weight at Marvel Studios, and he does, I'm not sure how involved he is in the actual filmmaking process. Not to say like Stan Lee's crazy or anything. I'm just saying I'm not sure how much pull he has with Marvel Studios. And also, you know, I said this last time, like, movie, why? Like, look, for lack of a better word, every Marvel Cinematic Universe we've had so far has served a purpose, for the most part. They've all kind of served this greater story. I'm not sure how a Black Widow movie is gonna do that. And I know we want standalone Marvel movies, or standalone comic movies from now on, because that's, you know, people are getting kind of tired of interconnected universes, but you know, it's still gotta be a cohesive whole. Well, and I'm not, and you know, we've already go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Finish up your thought.
No, I was saying, like, I feel like I don't know what you could do with a Black Widow movie. Like, she doesn't have any definitive bad guys. We have that Red Room story. We already delved into that in Age of Ultron. More of that. Direction we can go in with a Black Widow movie.
Well, in my opinion, like, again, I want to start seeing movies that don't connect cinematic universes.
No, right, exactly. And like, look at something like Wonder Woman, which hardly connected to anything, and that's arguably one of the best DCU has to offer.
But see, like, I'm gonna disagree with you for a little bit there. I think a Black Widow movie can be badass, especially if you make it almost like a raid, action, R-rated film. That could be amazing. Like, you have her just take out Russian baddies, and you have her just go full force on them. Like, you could delve deep into a little bit of her backstory coming from Age of Ultron if you want to tie that in a little bit. But overall, have her grown up, have her go in a raid style, you know, building or whatever, and just have her take out Russian baddies. And that could be a really fun, dark, rated R action movie that could be incredible.
I'm not sure MCU would go rated R first of all, but that'd be an interesting route.
Well, no, I'm not saying put it in the MCU.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean. But I feel like there are other like Marvel's doing it because they want a female superhero. I feel like Black Widow works best as kind of like the Hulk. They work best as supporting characters, and there are other female superheroes that I think will be better suited for a standalone movie, like Captain Marvel. Like Captain Marvel, I think is way better suited for a solo movie than Black
She's
Widow.
actually good for a movie.
She is actually getting a movie, which I'm actually really looking forward to. I think it could be really cool.
All right, so I found the exact quote from Stan Lee.
Okay.
He said, "One day there will be a Black Widow movie."
Oh, one day, someday,
Excelsior!
someday, true believers, there'll be a Black Widow film. Excelsior.
Well, I mean, I can kind of see why, because Black Widow is one of the most popular Avengers right now.
No, she is absolutely
one of the two.
She's not the most popular. She's not the most popular, but she's up there. People love Black Widow. People love Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. She's always like one. She's always one of the standouts. For the most part, she's usually one of the standouts in the movies that aren't her own. But I feel like she lives in that supporting zone.
Well, I mean, we'll never know unless we see an actual movie first. I mean,
let's give it a shot.
I mean, you could say that she's better as a supporting cast, but maybe they do come out with a Black Widow movie. Maybe it's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a good story idea for a Black Widow movie, I say go for it.
Yeah,
but I can't think of any. Well, Red Room is the only comic I can think of for a good Black Widow movie. We already delved into that. I'm not sure how much more we can go into that one.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the big one that everyone's been talking about.
Oh yeah.
On it. Marvel Studios and Disney are in talks with Fox on buying some of their property rights. Why don't you talk about this real quick while I look up the official.
Well, you're kind of underselling the story. Like Disney is in. So the official story is Disney is in talks to purchase 21st Century Fox, which pretty much every single right to film that Fox has right now, which that is be one of the biggest deals to ever happen in film. That would be the biggest deal to happen in film since Disney bought Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
And you absolutely know the reason they're doing it is that so they can have X-Men and Fantastic Four back.
Oh yeah.
Under their banner. But it reminds me of a lot of a quote from Django Unchained. Is like, okay, if a guy wants a horse, what does he do? Does he have to buy the horse? Buy the farm.
Yep. But all right, so I got the quote here from CNBC.
Official story. Okay.
Yeah, so CNBC said that the talks have been taking place over the last few weeks. So,
okay, keep going.
What was that?
Probably an ad or something. I don't know.
Yeah. But pretty much it was like the talks are Fox and Marvel have been in talks for a few weeks, but nothing is guaranteed yet.
No, absolutely, and like with a deal like this, you can't guarantee anything because this will be huge.
Oh yeah.
As far as this goes, Marvel really should negotiate. I know, like they should negotiate for just Fantastic Four, because like I have no problem with the state of the X-Men right now.
Oh no.
But Fantastic Four, Fox has tried that. They've struck out every time they try Fantastic Four. It just gets worse.
Yep.
And I feel like you give it to Marvel, they've proven time and time again they know what they're doing. Let them take a crack at it.
See, I just want Marvel to get Fantastic Four for the villains. So you can have a Doctor
exactly.
for Avengers, or you can have Galactus for Avengers, something like that.
No, exactly. Like you can get Galactus, you can get Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
You already kind of have it because Captain Marvel, they're doing the scrolls, which means they've already worked out something in the past.
Is that
So why not take it further?
Girls gonna be in it?
Yeah, it's confirmed. The scrolls will be the villains in the Captain Marvel movie.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, that came out. That news came out of I think D23.
Oh, okay, nice. But yeah, I don't want them to get the X-Men because I feel like the X-Men is doing pretty good at Fox.
No, exactly. Like of all the comic book franchises going on right now, the one doing the most interesting stuff. I mean, they've taken every time they've taken a risk, it's shown to pay it off. Like Deadpool, Logan, New Mutants, which looks awesome.
Yes, it does.
They're taking risks with the X-Men franchise, and I give them all the credit in the world for that.
And apparently their next X-Men movie after Apocalypse is going to be set in the 90s. And
it's going to be Dark Phoenix, which
Dark Phoenix saga.
I didn't like Apocalypse, so I'm less enthused for that one.
But dude, you gotta admit, seeing Dark Phoenix in that movie was pretty badass.
It was. I think that was a good moment. My issue with that movie, because like Simon Kinberg's directing that movie, who has never directed a feature film before. It makes me a little nervous.
Fox to direct.
No, like it's confirmed. He will direct. He's going to direct it.
Okay, I mean, he's been on most of the X-Men movies as a producer and writer, so I mean.
Yeah, which I'm not sure how big a transition of directing is, but it makes me nervous to hear a first-time director taking on something so big. But nevertheless, if it's worth it, I'll check it out.
Yeah, and see,
but yeah,
I'm going back to New Mutants. I'm excited that Fox is taking this big chance of a comic book horror movie, which I don't think we've ever had that in the modern day. The last time I could think of it was maybe Blade on a big scale level.
And with the story they're adapting for New Mutants, that a horror tone would work for it.
Oh yeah, without doubt. Especially coming off of some of the recent New Mutant comics that really have to delve into some of the horror elements, you know. Because if you really look at the team, the New Mutants work as a horror property.
No, and because they're adapting the Demon Bear storyline, that is a horror comic. So this works.
Yep. Speaking of horror and a horribly bad movie, let's transition to the
segue.
That segue worked.
Segue.
It worked perfect. Why don't you go into the universe?
So the Dark Universe. It had a major shakeup this week as the producers, the spearhead of these movies, which was Alex Kurtzman, who directed The Mummy this year, and Chris Morgan, who was a writer, had just announced that they are exiting the Dark Universe, which pretty much means, and they even said it like that means like the future of this universe is uncertain. Designated for this particular project, they're all empty now. Nobody's there. They don't know what they're doing with this franchise. They need a major.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, look at Mummy. Like, The Mummy made a whole bunch of money, but it was slammed by the critics.
It didn't make nearly as much as it should have, though. Because let me check the gross for that one real quick. Because it absolutely bombed here in the States.
It bombed here in the States, but it made great international money.
Yeah, Tom Cruise, and like I was late to the game on The Mummy, and then I saw it, and you know what? I actually thought it was pretty decent for an hour.
For an hour.
And then the second hour started, and then it just delved into everything, and then it just delved into universe nonsense like. And as far as these guys, Alex Kurtzman and Chris Morgan leaving, I think that's a good choice.
Okay, so the production budget for The Mummy was $125 million, and it made $409 million worldwide.
I think it was between like 125 and 195, if I read correctly.
Right here on Box Office Mojo, I have it predicted it's $125 million.
Okay, so it made a bit of profit, not as much, not enough to warrant a universe per se.
I mean, it did until they left, because now they have nobody in that universe.
after this happened, like they didn't make as much as they wanted to. Like after this happened, they slashed budgets. They put productions on hold. Like I think Bride of Frankenstein was supposed to happen next, but then they put that on the back burner while they figured this out.
Man, it sucks too because one, I'm a fan of these monsters. I'm a fan of Frankenstein, Mummy, Wolfman, and they have such great actors on it too. Johnny Depp, Tom Cruise,
Javier Bardem.
You have such great talent and such good source material, and they ruined it on the first movie.
No, absolutely. Like, and it sucks because like, and also they should have taken a different approach to this because the Mummy, you had Alex Kurtzman, who literally just failed at this a few years ago with Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Playing Jekyll Knight.
But yeah, you like I think getting rid of Kurtzman's a plus because you had him. He just failed at this in 2014 with Amazing Spider-Man 2. You bring him in because you want to start this brand new universe, and he makes the exact same mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were so concerned with trying to make a universe, they couldn't just make a good movie.
Yeah, and that's always where a universe starts. Make
Right.
one big movie. If you want to tie it into stuff, you can tie it into stuff, but overall, make a great movie.
Like you look at the first Iron Man, like that doesn't tie into hardly anything.
Because they had nothing to tie into.
No, like they didn't have anything. Like you didn't know it was a part of a bigger thing until the very last scene.
Yep. And trust me, I was in the theater when Nick Fury came out. People went nuts in my theaters.
I remember watching that for the first time. I went crazy.
So did I. Alright, so Dark Universe is shit, pretty much. We can agree on that.
Yeah, well, as of right now, the mummy was bad, but they can fix it. They can fix it. I think a good move was to bring on Jason Blum or like Jason Blum or a James Wan.
Oh yeah.
Tighter budget, someone who knows how to work in more horror projects.
He's busy with
James Wan. But Jason Blum could be a possibility.
Oh yeah. Especially
get someone who can work in a horror more.
And
then
try to get agree with Jason Blum because Blumhouse has always shown they can make great horror movies on a smaller budget. Look at Get Out. Look at Lights Out.
Or even someone like a Sam Raimi who's worked in like bigger budget blockbusters before, but has like horror roots. Like,
yep. Just someone who, in my opinion, the one thing that studios in general should try to do is lower your budgets. Because guess what? That comes out of our pockets because we spend more money on movie tickets now because the studios, spend on their movies.
Right. But also because look at the talent you got involved in this. You got Johnny Depp and Tom Cruise, but those are two very highly paid actors.
Yeah. I'm saying you can spend.
But yeah,
don't spend like $500 million on one movie.
Yeah, don't have these monsters. They're not like attacking the city monsters. They're like attacking like a small town or like a community.
Yeah. Start off small and then work your way up.
Work your way up, exactly.
Which is kind of like, now this is a bad example, but I kind of like what King Kong and Godzilla are doing.
I think it's a great example.
You have great standalone movies. In my opinion, I had fun with Kong Skull Island. I know it's.
Yeah, so did I. I really enjoyed Kong.
But you see, you start with Godzilla, and they weren't sure they were going to make, a cinematic universe. Then you get King Kong. Now you're getting Godzilla King of Monsters, which is going to tie into King Kong a bit. And then you're going to take a great horror director, and you're going to give him, King Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh, that's right. Get Adam Wingard on that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I told him his name for a minute, but I knew he was a really good horror director.
No, he is.
Director
for the most part. Wait, what? No. Adam Wingard. He directed. He directed. This movie Dance Teens. I can't think of the name of it. I know he directed You're Next.
Yeah, You're Next. That's what I was talking about.
You're
Lights
next.
Out.
He also directed the Guest. The Guest is the one I'm thinking of. He directed The Guest
Oh, yeah.
starring Dan Stevens. Some missteps recently with Blair Witch and Death Notes, but I feel like he's gonna course correct.
Yeah. And see, even if you go into Death Note, that movie was, it had problems. I kind of enjoyed it, kind of fun with it, but it also shows what kind of director he is. You know,
Exactly.
he has the dark elements. He can add a little bit of comedy to it. It shows what he has.
Yeah, his point is like, but I guess what we're trying to get around is like make one good movie, and then like don't be concerned with the universe.
Yeah, don't focus on the universe. Focus on starting with one good movie. Make The Mummy the best movie possible. Then you tie it up like make Bride of Frankenstein the best movie possible. If you have that mindset through the entire process, then you're golden. You will have a great universe that you can set up, that you can do whatever you want with it. But don't start off immediately focusing on the universe.
Exactly.
Alright, so let's go into our last, which is some Star Wars news, which I guess we could tie these two together since they came out around the same time. Talking about the brand new trilogy that Star Wars is coming out with, directed by Rian Johnson, the director of Episode 8. What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, well, I have two thoughts. First, well, from being a big Star Wars fan, I think talk about it. It's not gonna be It's not gonna have any Skywalkers, any Solos. It's not gonna be It's not gonna tie anything. It's gonna be completely new in-universe story. Which to the people who are saying, you know, they want more original things in the Star Wars universe, you're getting it. But also, it's a brand new trilogy. Which for the people saying we're having too many Star Wars movies, that's not that they're gonna be pretty upset about this news. Coming at this from a huge Star Wars fan, as someone who loved both Force Awakens and Rogue One, that those movies made both those movies made my top 10 in their respective years. I am so excited about this, and it also really shows the confidence that Lucasfilm has in this guy, and how much he really enjoys working with these people. Because, like, who wouldn't want to play in the Star Wars sandbox for like 3 more movies?
Oh yeah. Oh, Chance, I didn't realize you were a Star Wars fan. Look at your shirt.
All right, didn't realize it.
Yeah, he is a Star Wars fan. Look at his shirt. But yeah, dude, I am excited about this new trilogy because, again, the Star Wars universe is so vast and expansive, and you can pretty much turn anything into, hopefully, a good movie. I mean, hell, Knights of the Old Republic. You could do a whole bunch of different stories that don't have to revolve around the Skywalkers or the Solos or whatever. You can make great trilogies that expand outside of the Skywalkers.
No, exactly. And like with a universe so vast that you have possibilities. Like there's so many directions you could go. Like you said, this could be a Knights of the Old Republic something, which is a story I think people wanted to see for a long time.
Actually,
and like they're also
on the next one that might be Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, you think that's what's gonna be? I think that could be right too. But yeah, like there's so many. The universe is vast as Star Wars. There's so many directions you can go in, and I love Rian Johnson. I think he's one of the most underappreciated filmmakers working today. I think he's finally gonna get some mainstream success with Last Jedi coming out this December. I can't wait to see what this guy does.
Oh yeah, and just so you guys can see, look at that. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. But yeah, like Rian Johnson is perfect director to be on this trilogy. Especially if he brings out a banger of Last Jedi, which I believe he will. You see from the trailers and all that stuff. Then yeah, bring him on for 3 more movies.
Why not?
And we can tie this one into They're also announced a new live-action Star Wars TV show, which that goes into what I believe might be Knights of the Old Republic.
That could be interesting. And have they announced like what outlet this is going to be on?
Let me see if I can research it, but talk
because
about
the thing I would want from this is I would want this show to be on Netflix. I would want them to go. I want to see a really gritty Star Wars movie. Like we got hints of that in Rogue One. I want them to take that a little further. Like you look at the Daredevil and like Luke Cage and like Punisher for the MCU.
okay.
Those shows
All right, it says,
are rated R.
all right, it says live-action Star Wars TV show confirmed by Disney will be available on the company's new streaming service.
Oh, okay. So this could be a more adult-oriented Star Wars that we're looking at. I think that could be really interesting. There's a lot of possibilities.
Oh yeah, and especially like I don't know much about Knights of the Old Republic, but I keep hearing people wanting to have that either a movie or TV show. And I've researched a little bit, and it does seem like it could be a very good Netflix or streaming service TV show. You make it like 8 to 10 episodes, boom.
No, absolutely, and like I've actually played Knights of the Old Republic, which is a fantastic game. I've read some of the lore, and it's honestly one of my favorite Star Wars stories. I think adapting this to live action.
Knights of the Republic. What's it set around? Like,
it's basically around the time where the Jedi, it's basically the formation of the Galactic Republic and the Jedi the Jedi going up against the Sith, because this is the time before the Sith went by the rule of 2.
Oh yeah.
So there were like a ton of them.
Okay, nice. Yeah, definitely put that on the streaming service and stuff.
Yeah, and you know how like in the Phantom Menace they said the Sith haven't been around for a really long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because of the events of the Old Republic. This is why the Sith aren't around anymore.
Okay. Actually, let's go back to the Marvel news because I think I remember one. From what I've read, Marvel is now taking all of their Netflix shows, their Marvel Netflix shows, off of Netflix.
Off of Netflix, they're going on to the new Disney streaming service.
Yeah, and what are your thoughts on this new Disney streaming service that they're going to do?
You know, a philosophy Disney has had over the years that they've shown they have over the years. It's if we don't need you, we don't need you. Like Disney they are one of the not just a film. They're one of the biggest companies in the world. They have all the means in the world to start a streaming service. So just like, you know, why are we paying these guys to stream our content when we can just do that ourselves?
Yeah.
And also, like the library.
The other thing I was gonna say is that's where I get kind of nervous, is because I don't think we'll see stuff like the Punisher being violent, blowing people's brains out, and sex, drugs, and all that stuff that Marvel Netflix shows had. I don't think we'll see that on the Disney streaming service.
See, I think they will, just because like they can't change it up midstream. Like they gotta keep the shows as they are.
Yeah. I'm just worried that if Disney takes it over, that it's gonna be more kid-based.
But you also gotta understand, like Netflix doesn't have the biggest hand in this anyway. They still operate. They still operate under. They operate under Disney first and foremost, and then Netflix.
Yeah. But I also know that the DC is doing the exact same thing, which they're airing the new Titan show, which I'm interested in that one too.
And just season 3 on that service too.
Yep, Young Justice season 3. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's really interesting. But
and dude, like imagine all of the movies you could have on that DC streaming service, and with Marvel, you could have. I don't know how. See, because you can have the MCU movies, and you can have all the Disney movies, but you can have stuff like X-Men or Fantastic Four or whatever, because it's owned by different.
No, exactly. But like, I feel like Disney's filmography is diverse enough to the point where if they wanted to do a streaming service, they could.
Oh yeah, And same with DC, I feel like, especially with, imagine the movies you put on the DC streaming service.
No, exactly, and also
the 98 or 89
Batman, literally any DC movie. I think I'm more excited by the Disney streaming service though, because you look at that, you can have all like Star Wars, Marvel, which they also have the rights to.
Yep.
Like Pirates of the Caribbean, like literally everything.
Pretty much what we're saying is we're going to spend double the money on both services.
Absolutely.
In my case, I'm gonna spend the $10 to $12 on both services.
And also, but I'm pretty sure didn't they say Disney Star is going to be cheaper than Netflix?
Yeah, it's gonna be cheaper than Netflix because they don't have to. Netflix, the reason that
you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay
to get this.
You don't got to pay for rights for. You gotta pay for rights for Disney. You can because they already have them.
Yep, and I feel like the price for the DC streaming service is going to be cheaper as well because again they don't have to pay rights to different shows and stuff. They can just port that over.
No, exactly.
Which again, I can't wait for the DC streaming service and the Marvel streaming service or Disney streaming service.
Absolutely.
I'm getting both of them.
Yeah, I think I'll get the Disney one first, but I'll definitely look into the DC one.
Yeah, I'm just more of a. I kept on my head up. He's right. The DC comics, but and most of the DC movies from like Dark Knight, Batman, all that stuff.
Yeah, sure. You would get the Dark Knight. You would get the Dark Knight trilogy on the DC service.
Oh yeah, you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, of course, Titans with the Flying Graysons coming.
Yeah, which I hope that show's good.
So do I.
I really don't want it to suck.
See, I feel like Marvel Netflix shows, in my opinion, they've decreased since like Iron Fist.
Well, we've only had one since Iron Fist, and that's Defenders, which was a major step up from Iron Fist.
Oh yeah, but I mean like all right, Daredevil season 1, like the entire Daredevil series, incredible.
Season 1 was one of my favorite seasons of television of that year. Like that was one of the perfect seasons of television I've ever seen. Daredevil season 1.
Yep. And then Daredevil season 2 was incredible. They brought in Punisher, all that stuff. I love that. I even loved Jessica Jones. I know some people don't.
Jessica Jones too.
Huh?
I love Jessica Jones too. I know a lot of people don't like that show very much, but I don't see why. It's a really good detective show.
I feel like they don't like it because they were so used to the Daredevil style of action where it's action, action, action. This one was very slow-paced. More about the Jessica Jones character than anything else.
Yeah, it's more about trauma. It's more about, actual detective work.
Yeah, and I loved the first half of Luke Cage.
Everybody says that about Luke Cage. I love Luke Cage. I don't get why people hate Luke Cage so much. Cottonmouth.
I love Cottonmouth.
Because they killed Cottonmouth.
Yeah.
That's why.
After that, they brought in
Diamondback,
and he completely ruined the show.
Really?
I don't see. Yeah, to me, he ruined the half of the season because he was way over the top. He was trying to be that. Oh look, I'm gonna be, almost like Luke Cage, and it just. I didn't like it. When they had Cottonmouth, and they had Cottonmouth going against Luke Cage, with him trying to figure out the ways to stop him with the bullet and, all the just the actor and everything like that. It was good. It was a great half season. But once you killed him off in the most dumbest way possible, his sister pushed him out of a window, it kind of ruined it for me because you set up this whole season to be like, okay, Cottonmouth is taking on Luke Cage. And you completely, you bait switched us. You brought us a new villain that didn't have time to properly introduce him. And it just completely rushed.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, I'll agree with you on some of those points. Yeah, I feel like Cottonmouth was a better villain than Diamondback. Yeah. I had to see where we understood more where Cottonmouth was coming from. I think that was the big thing. But you're also forgetting about the reason I don't give it as much hate is because Cottonmouth wasn't the point. The point was not the rise of a kingdom. We have Daredevil for that. The point was the fall of a honest senator, because you're forgetting about the other villain they had in the show, Mariah Dillard, about Alfred Woodard, who was phenomenal on Luke Cage.
But see, yeah, I understand that.
She was the real villain of that show.
You could say that, and I kind of wish they wouldn't have made it like that, because I feel like Cottonmouth is a villain you can get behind. I mean, he grew up pretty much in the worst type of situations, and literally rose himself up to be this, the owner of a nightclub. He's really suave. He's smooth. He's the character you can get behind, because you're like, I can be that successful one day. But the thing is, he lets all that power get to his head.
Exactly.
Which
he was someone who tried to make an honest living of himself, but then through circumstance, he couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm. So he started going into the dark path of, gun dealing and doing shady shit in the club, the nightclub, all that stuff. But I feel like if you would have made the half the season, in my opinion, was all about Cottonmouth. It was all set up of, even more than Luke Cage, I feel like Cottonmouth was the focal point.
You could argue that.
I mean, he was in almost every episode up to season, episode 6. You learn more about his backstory with the episode where he goes back, his mama and all that stuff. And you really care about that character. So when they just kill him off by having him be pushed out of a window by his sister, completely ruined it. If you're gonna kill him,
that was his cousin, by the way.
Huh?
That was his cousin, by the way, not his sister.
Oh, cousin. I'm sorry, but if you're gonna have him die, have him go out against Luke Cage. I mean, they pretty much have the exact same. They're polar opposites, but there's so much more that you can connect with them.
Like maybe have him do, because you'd have to introduce Judas Bullet. If you wanted that show, you'd have to introduce Judas Bullets.
See, what I would have done,
that was the only,
and my dad keeps bringing this up, and it's actually a good idea. If you know the name Cottonmouth is a Spider-Man villain, he started off as a Spider-Man villain, and pretty much Cottonmouth can dislocate his jaw like a snake, and he pretty much he bites to his victims and stuff. What I would have done is take the Judas Bullet, melt it down, and have him, get the surgery where he can, he gets the fangs that have injected the Judas Bullet serum, and then you go and you have him fight.
I don't think that's how Judas Bullets work.
Well, you can melt down the bullet.
That's still not how it works.
Hey, I still don't think a freaking hero, a guy, could have impervious skin either. But
they established how those bullets work, and that's not it.
I'm saying if you wanted to keep the comic accurate,
Right, but I get what you mean.
Yeah, but I mean, hell, just have him be the main villain and have him use the Judas Bullet to take out Luke Cage, or try to.
Right.
See, once they brought in Diamondback, they kind of ruined it for me.
Yeah, I feel like you're either gonna kill the show for you, or you're gonna roll with it. I rolled with it just because I like seeing Luke Cage so much.
I love how way off topic we got.
Right. You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, we can wrap it up. All right, guys. That was a weird off topic, but hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Nerd News, episode 3. Remember to give it a like. Chance, go ahead and plug Full Metal Trivia. I know that's what you do all the time.
Well, yeah, Full Metal Trivia and Chance the Critic on YouTube. I know I said yesterday my review of Murray on the Orient Express would be up last night. I didn't get a chance to edit it, so I'm hoping I can get it up by tonight.
Okay, so tell me, is it worth it? Is it not worth it?
Murder on the Orient Express. Watch my review to find out.
No, you little. All right, guys. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out the Patreon page, patreon.com/filmnerdtv. And I'll see you guys soon. I'm Hunter from Film Nerd. See you guys soon. Peace.